Hey guys, what's up? It's Keeps here and welcome back to another episode of the Blackburn Rovers series. This is episode 2 of season 2, so I think it works out as episode 7 altogether in the series. And we are now in October, mid-October. I thought this was a good place, 9 games in, 10 games of the season in, just to take a moment and make a new episode for you guys, bring you guys up to speed with what's been going on, how the form's been. And we'll start off, as you can see, I am really pleased with how the season's went so far. In terms of the fixtures we've had, we are sitting bang on mid-table. Obviously, we do have the chance to go down due to Wolves having a game in hand, but nevertheless, being after 9 games, 10th in the table is really what we would have been looking for. We've had some good results, we've had some bad results, we've certainly had some unlucky results, but we'll go through them in a minute. So first of all, we'll just go through the fixtures and we'll just go through them here one by one. So we left you with the Wolves game. We went 3-0 down. We were never in that game. I think, we certainly had some chances, but we did not take them at all. Second game of the season against Manchester City. As you can see, if it goes on to the right bit, we did do a lot better in this one in terms of keeping, getting chances and things like that. Against Wolves, I think we had 2 shots, 1 on target, something like that. As much as they had 26 shots, 15 on target and a lot of possession, you expect that against Manchester City as a new promoted side. So, they did really well. We saved a penalty, and it took them very late on to win it against us. We did go up 1-0 through a penalty and then they scored almost straight away, but we kept them pretty good up until the 83rd minute when Foden scored, and then De Bruyne getting a lucky free kick in the 95th minute was not how I wanted to lose that game. I would have been happy with 2-1, 3-1 I think is a bit of an injustice towards us, but nevertheless it was a good result. Looking at Southampton one, again a late winner, really denying us, and it's disappointing to see. If you've followed the series up to now, you know that a lot of the poor form of the previous season that stopped us from getting automatic promotion was really down to not being able to see games out and falling at the last hurdle. And it seems that for the start of this season that it was going to go all that way again. The next one was in the Carabao Cup. We did win against Barnsley. Pretty decent performance, as you can see across the board. Not too bad. A couple of bad performances, but overall some really good ones in there as well. Looking forward from that, this is where our best run has been so far. We drew 1 each with Sheffield United away from home, and Sheffield did play pretty poorly, so did we. It was a fairly even game, so we'll take the 1-1 draw away from home. Any points picked up away from home in our first season here as a bonus. And then by far the biggest the performance that we've put in so far and across the whole season and series that we've done so far. Blackburn 3, Liverpool 2. Newly promoted. We haven't invested that much, and as you can see, just to point out, we have moved the tactic at this point, as you'll have seen in the previous few games as well. We did change it from the 5 at the back to a 4-2-3-1 that I'd originally planned on doing. Just changing the tactic from what we did last season. But it was a very good game, very close game, as you can see. We really did take Liverpool all the way, and from going 2-0 down and looking like it was all over after 25 minutes to come back and win it 3-2 was an excellent result, and Adam Armstrong really took his goal well in the 90th minute. Moving on from that, 2 poor results at home after a 2-0 win away to Bournemouth. Another good result there for us, scoring goals early on, but these 2 games here were not great. The Man United one again was one that we just kind of got dominated, but at the same time it was a bit of an injustice to lose 3-0. I felt that the 2 goals coming as quickly, and then the 96 minute one was really unlucky for us. And then the Tottenham game, it was a cup game. We did play as strong a team as we could, thinking we could get something out of it, and as you can see, we were, in stats wise, the better side, but they just took their chances. But with the quality they have in their team, even having to rotate like that is quite bizarre. Having Ruben Diaz, Foyth, 2 good centre halves. Dyer at centre mid's a bit strange, but it's still a really good squad there that they had available to them, and they took advantage of that. The past 2 games have been pretty good. An away win to Brentford. Obviously we were in the Championship with them last season, and there was a couple of games where we struggled against them, but obviously getting that one over the line was important. And then a home 1-0 draw to Burnley, where the 2 goals came in quick succession. And I would say on run of the game and watching it live, obviously we had more shots and more shots on target, but watching it live, it was probably the right outcome. I'd probably say maybe 4 or 5 of the shots there were rebounds or second balls, so some of them weren't great chances. So I think on the balance of it, we're in a really good position so far this season. As you can see, we've highlighted in the pre-season in the last episode, we had a really good pre-season against lower level teams, and then we just fell against Wolves drastically, and I felt something had to change. So we have changed to this tactic. Now, this is a tactic that I've built for how I'd like to see football be played. It really relies on, fluidity between these 3 in behind the strikers, and it really works well with Armstrong as a natural striker as well. It actually allows him to change with Dak and almost act as a shadow striker without having those roles, which is pretty good. One thing I'll focus on is we have brought Jack Vale into the team. When you look at his potential, he's a very high potential. I had never really heard of him before taking over this, but when I looked at it, Elliot Bennett is much more suited to that right back role. So we needed a right winger to come in now that we'd changed to a formation with wingers, and Jack Vale seemed like the obvious choice with his potential. The 2 centre-halves are not really gelling so far, but we have put them into a mentoring group of their own to try and help with that. Suter and Schär have been in decent form so far this season, however. Schär being slightly better of the 2. But overall, the main person this season so far, I would say, has been either Bradley Dack or Ben Brereton. They've certainly been good, scoring 4 goals in 11 games for us. Elliot Bennett's been pretty good as well at right back, getting assists in, but Aaron Ramsdale as well has been terrific at the back. He's going to concede a good amount of goals. It's something that's just going to come with a newly promoted side that's not really in the best shape to, go and attack teams, but that's what we're trying to do. Similar to, Norwich New Life just now, what they're doing. They also do concede a lot of goals. It's going to be the same for us, but Aaron Ramsdale has certainly faced a lot of shots and saved a good amount considering how much we've conceded to. Looking at finances, as we said in the last one, it wasn't in a good shape. It's still not in a great shape. We are spending more than we'd like to on the wage budget, and the balance is not great. We are looking to maybe offload a couple of players in January. The ones we're thinking is possibly lose Holtby, like some maybe Brent Brereton, and a couple of others in the team that we just don't need, the likes of, possibly getting rid of Sam Gallagher if he's fit, maybe Lenihan, possibly Derek Williams as well, looking to bring in a quality centre-half just to, give Schär and Suter a break, because just now Lenihan is all we've got and he's a bit of a jump in quality when you take that out. The only thing that's really changed has been the training. As I said, we have set up more mentoring groups where we restarted this one. We did have Suter and Schär in one themselves. We've now included them in the other one though, just to get them back in and making sure that, if they change, they can really still link. Again, guys, if you haven't seen this, go and check out The Reckonist. This is how he recommends putting up the mentoring groups, and it also just, increases the likeness of these links getting green quicker. Obviously, with the poor performances in some areas and, the difference in quality for what we have compared to other teams, they aren't gelling as well on match days, which means that these links are orange rather than green. But it's the same time they are developing that partnership, and eventually, hopefully, they'll be fluid, just like Downing and Holtby are becoming. Looking ahead from this episode, though, we do have another round of games that's going to be pretty difficult, mainly due to the fact that we've got 3 out of the 5 away from home. One being against Tottenham, which is our next game, and then home to West Ham. Those should be 2 tough games. But from November, we're hoping that we can go and take the 9 points from this. 2 away games and a home game. The home game being against West Brom. We did beat them last season. Norwich, again, they're a team that are decent in this game, but they're not amazing, so hopefully we can take advantage of that. But with Brighton and West Brom both closing the table, and West Ham around the same area, we'd be looking to maybe take 9 points from those, and if we can add a point from Norwich, that would be pretty good. Looking on to December, because this will be included in the next episode as well, we do have quite a difficult Christmas and January period. Arsenal, Everton, Chelsea and Tottenham, and I guess you could include Leicester in that as well, all within the same month of December, where you've got games coming thick and fast, is not going to be fun for us. We're going to hopefully have to just get through with the skin of our teeth, because as you've seen with the squad, we don't have a massive squad. So that might be where we have to utilise some youngsters and might have to just sacrifice some points in there. January, again, some difficult fixtures. We've got 2 travels to Manchester in that one, which will not be fun, I imagine, with already having lost at home to both of them in the league. I think at the moment I'm taking them as write-offs, but when you look at how we performed against Liverpool, I'm never going to say to this team that they can't do it, because as we've shown, we can beat the best of the best on our day. On to February, again, Chelsea, we've got another difficult one. That's 3 difficult teams: Wolves, Chelsea and Leicester. Again, we've got Leicester pretty much in quick succession there, but hopefully we can get through this, Christmas period, January to February, relatively unscathed. Looking at the games, I'm expecting that we'll drop points a good amount, but as long as we can keep our form going from what we have up to this Norwich game, hopefully we can get ourselves 9, maybe 10 points out of these next 5 games to give us a real boost in the table and allow us to, go and drop some points over this period. Because looking at the run-in, it's not the worst run-in I've ever seen. After Arsenal, you've not really got any big teams up until Liverpool in the final day. So as long as we can secure safety in the Premier League this season, I will be delighted. Anyway guys, I've been Keebs. Keep an eye out for a couple more tactics videos. I'm working on Bayern and PSG. The Bayern ones are really close to coming out, so keep an eye out over the next couple of days for that. And the PSG one will be coming out soon after. So it's been good to have you guys. Hit subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss a video, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.